Hi everybody, it's Amy Peterson. I'm Hound Hill Doula, and today I'm at home having an office day preparing for an interview I have later this evening. And it occurred to me that a lot of people, when they decide they want to hire a doula, aren't really sure how to accomplish a good interview and what questions to ask and what information they should be gaining from the time they spend in front of a doula at an interview. So I just want to share with you my quick thoughts on that today, to hopefully make it a little easier for you if you decide that you'd like to interview a doula. The first and most important thing to do is to take the time to really check out the doula's website. They've spent a lot of time and energy and money on that website, and the information is really valuable, and you should take advantage of it. Hopefully you do this even before you set up an interview with them, but if you haven't, make sure you do it before you show up at the interview. Explore the site really well, check all the pages that are in there and review any information that they may have on there about the doula's qualifications, her fees, and the services that are included in a contract. Knowing all of the basics is going to save you a lot of time when you are face-to-face with the doula, and will allow you to expand on and clarify any of the information that you found on the website. So it's great to show up at the interview with already the basics covered of the website, so the doula at least knows that you've taken an interest and looked at the information that she's offered. For example, if the website says that the doula is DONA certified, great, you know that, so that when you get to the interview, instead of asking her that again, you can expand on it. You can say, I saw on your website that you're DONA certified. Are there any requirements that you have to meet to maintain that certification? How often do you have to recertify? How long have you been certified? You know, getting more and deeper information out of your interview, skipping over the basics that you can already gain from the website. And the website itself should give you a vibe about the doula. Everything on that website, the colors, the photos, the font, and not just the information she presents, but everything that's on that site. They all reflect the doula's personality and her values. And so it's a good way to sort of get a first feeling about her before you even show up at an interview. When you do go to the interview, there are 3 areas that you really should cover. And the first one is going to be the doula's qualifications. You know, you may know the basics from our website and you may be able to go deeper, but you really need to know, how many years has she been in practice? What kind of experience has she had in that time? How many births has she attended? What is her certification, her training? Does she have any affiliations with local providers or hospitals? What does she do for continuing ed? How does she keep current on changes in best practice and evidence-based information? And this is where I'm going to give you my little commercial for certification, because to me, certification is really important for doulas, and a lot of parents that are hiring doulas don't realize that there are no requirements for certification in the doula world. So, the guy sitting next to you on the bus can put up a website and say he's a doula, and that's not against the law. And so really hiring a doula is caveat emptor, buyer beware. You should be aware of your doula's qualifications and certifications, and what does that certification mean? Who has certified them? There are a lot of new agencies out there certifying doulas, and the requirements and standards of practice that they have are all different. And so, if your doula tells you they're certified by a certain organization, do your homework. Make sure that they're still currently certified, and look at that organization's reputation and experience and the requirements that they have of their doulas to stay current and certified. For example, as a donor doula, I have had to go through a certain certification process, and every 3 years I have to refile for certification, showing that I'm still actively working and that I have maintained a certain level of continuing education so that I'm current on what's going on in the birthing world. In my ongoing work as a doula, I have actually achieved another birth doula certification from another organization, which I won't name, but I basically took the training in order to get continuing education for my DONA certification, and earned in the meantime of taking that education a second certification, which does not require any recertification. I am certified as a doula with that organization for as long as I live, no matter how much I continue to educate myself, or whether I stop being an active doula or not. I'm still certified by them. So there's a big difference in organizations and their requirements, and it's good that you, as the hiring parent, understand that. End of my commercial. The second piece of information that you really want to explore in interview is the contracting services that you're getting. So, what is the doula's fee? What does that include? What about refunds if something happens? If you find out you need a cesarean, how does that impact your contract? When are fees due? Some doulas require a deposit of a certain amount. When is the balance due? Are there payment options? So anything about financing. What's included in that contract? How many prenatal visits? Is there a limit on how often you can speak to your doula or see your doula? Do they have any postpartum follow-up services included in that? Do they have a backup doula? What happens if they're sick? How long around your birth due date are they available and on call? Are there any other services available to you from that doula that you might add on to their contract? For example, as well as being a certified labor doula, I also offer placenta encapsulation, and I'm a certified lactation counselor. So those are other services that I offer families, and they can take advantage of. Some of them are available through some of my birth support packages, and some of them are available as separate and individual services. So these are all things that you should be asking about the services that you're contracting for, so you fully understand what you're signing and what your money is paying for. And the last thing that you want to cover in an interview is really the biggest thing, in my opinion. What does your doula see as the doula's role in your birth? So ask her that, just ask her that and listen. Let her talk. This is your opportunity to hear her talk about her values, and you can assess how they mesh with your values of birth. Does the role that she's describing mesh with your expectations of a doula's role? How does she meet her clients' needs? How does she work with partners and other family members? Does she express strong views on how she thinks a birth should be? How does she work in the environment that you plan to give birth in? Is she a respected team member with her peers? Does she follow your lead, or does she lead you? These are all questions that will give you a good feeling, or not, about how you and your doula will work together. Because really the most important thing about your selection of a doula is that you feel comfortable with her. How well does she communicate? Do you feel listened to while you're talking to her at the interview? Because that's really important for a good doula, to be a good listener, so that she understands what your needs are. And how do you feel being in her presence? Do you feel comfortable with her? When you walk away from your interview, the bottom line is that you really have to feel comfortable with your doula. What feels like a good fit for you might not be the same as what feels like a good fit for your girlfriend or your cousin. And that's okay. You need to find a fit that works for you. You need to feel comfortable, you need to feel safe, and you need to feel supported by your doula. And if you don't have those things from your doula, her presence is going to hinder your labor and your birth experience rather than enhance it. So that's really all I have to say. Do your homework, use your head, but always follow your gut, and find a doula that you feel good with. I'm glad you took the time to listen. I appreciate it. Have a great day.